Hi, my name is Mandy from Mandy Sorts It Out. I'm going to talk to you today about the stuff I want to sort out. And basically, when I refer to that, I'm referring to 8 tubs that I've been carrying with me the last 3 years since I moved over from abroad, overseas. And I've been wanting to do stuff with it, but to cut it down so I'm not carrying this around with me. The stuff I've got, an awful lot of it is stuff that if I died and my children had to deal with this stuff, they would not have a clue what it really was or what would be the best thing to happen for it. And I feel I have a responsibility to get rid of it in the best way possible. And I don't want to have to pass the weight of that responsibility onto my children. I want to deal with it in my lifetime. So I need to get to it. I'm 61. I need to get to it. So these tubs as well, they're just stacked in my living room, which is not the most attractive thing. Luckily, at the moment, the place I'm renting has a large living room. But if I move on, I may not be so lucky. So I really need to do something about it. And I kind of need support. I need support because I haven't been able to get to it so far. And I've been wanting to do it. I should explain that twice in my life I've had massive sorts out. Once was when I moved, well, actually, no, 3 times. Once when I was living overseas and I came to the UK to do some voluntary work. I had a big clear out there because I had nowhere to leave anything. And my life was in 3 suitcases at that point, everything I owned. And then I went back overseas. I met my husband. I married. I had a family. The marriage broke up. I had a divorce. Eventually had to sell the marital home that I was living in with the children to move into a house that was half the size, and therefore had to get rid of a lot. We had an attic. I put things in the attic. The house I moved to did not have an attic. The attic had been converted into a room. I needed as much room as I could get for my money. So attics, parking, those things were extras, and I couldn't afford them. So yeah, I really did declutter at that point. But then when I moved to the UK 3 years ago, my sister had moved to the UK some years before that, and I know how expensive the quote she was getting to move all the things in her house. And I'd been thinking about moving to the UK for a long time, so I'd been only buying, if I'd been getting furniture, I'd been getting very cheap second-hand furniture. I hadn't been paying out for anything. I didn't have anything of significant value in my house other than personal stuff. So my brother brought me over. It wasn't 3 suitcases worth. My brother brought me over in his transit van, and I had 2 mattresses which I'd recently invested some money in, so they were worth money. So I brought them with me. There was 2 pieces of furniture I bought. One was a solid wood magazine rack, which I absolutely love, and one was a wooden stool, which sounds really, really daft. But it was the first piece of furniture I ever bought for myself way back when I was moving to live independently. And it contains a lot of emotional weight for me. So, and it's very useful actually. You can use it as a stool, or you can use it as a side table, or you can use it as a bedside table. It's had all those uses in the past. I'm saying that and I'm thinking, where the hell is it? Oh, it's by the side of my bed. It's a bedside table at the moment. Yes, it holds my Wi-Fi. That's crazy. I actually went to check. Anyway, yeah, that was the only 2 bits of furniture I brought over with me. I didn't bring any pots or pans or plates. I brought a knife, a fork and a spoon. My sister was quoted thousands to move, and we did it in, I think, about 400 or 500. So I felt I had saved enough money that I could buy what I needed, and it would still be cheaper than paying for everything to come over. So that's what I did. I mean, the things I bought aren't expensive. They're either IKEA or from Amazon. This table's from Amazon, this chair's from Amazon. But yes, I cut down an awful lot of my stuff. I have more stuff now. We rented a van to move me when I moved to Leicestershire from Bristol. My niece's husband very kindly volunteered to drive, and carry all the stuff in. He was absolutely fantastic. You know, that was, I think, again, that was less than £200 to rent the van. Anyway, here I am. And I've got these 8 tubs. The other day, I got all these tubs out, spread them in the lounge, and went through them and pulled out. I knew there was loads of my photographs in there, physical photographs. So I went and pulled them all out because those do need to be sorted out. I know I have too much in photographs. Photographs I don't really look at, and photographs that I probably should look at more. But I knew there was a lot. So I got all those out, and that brought it down to about 6 tubs. And then I looked in the tubs, and one of the tubs has got Christmas decorations in it. So that brings it down to about 5 tubs. Now, one of the tubs, I could see it had my stuff in. I don't know if all of it's my stuff, this particular tub, but I think I've probably got about one of those tubs is my stuff. And the other 4 tubs is stuff that I have from people I've loved and lost. So my granny, my nan, my father, and my granny's cousin, who is a lovely, lovely lady. I have a large amount of stuff from my granny's cousin. She said in a will that she wanted me to have all her family history stuff. I got an awful lot of paperwork from her, and a lot of it is paperwork relating to her mother and father. She was in her 90s when she died, so a lot of this is very old paperwork that may have some cultural value. I am unsure. I have the bits that were obviously had some cultural value. I have managed to pass on some bits anyway. Other bits I'm not so sure about, or my attempts to pass them on haven't worked. I feel I have a responsibility to save and preserve as much of this as possible, because she saved and preserved it. It meant a lot to her, and I think it might mean a lot to other organisations and people. It doesn't necessarily mean a lot to me. I have stuff from her mother. Her mother is not related to me. I was related to my granny's cousin through her father, who was my granny's mother's brother. But of course, her mother was not related to me, but I have things relating to her mother. It's things I need to look into. And every time I've gone through these tubs, I felt a bit overwhelmed. I mean, there is a lot of stuff. There is a lot. I think I need to attack this in a very practical, straightforward manner. And the first thing I did was take the photos out, and I've sorted out 4 boxes of photographs of my children growing up. And I've sorted 3 boxes that are other photographs. The pre-children photos, me, my family, me growing up, they're in the other 3 boxes. I think there are a lot of photos in the tubs. I don't know if any of them are photos of family. There may be, but there are a lot of photos. I don't know who they are, obviously. I need to attack this in a very practical and logical manner. And I think the first step is to catalogue what I've got, catalogue what's in all these tubs. And then I can maybe identify some things that I can quickly resolve, that I can quickly think this has no value at all to anybody, bye-bye. Or perhaps I should offer this to the wider family, because I do have siblings, I have cousins. There are other people who were as related to my granny's cousin's father. He is my great-great-uncle, I think. Yeah, my great-great-uncle. So it's there. It's the great-great-uncle of at least another 6 people, and the great-great-great-uncle of all of our children, and there are a lot. So, but you know, younger people don't tend to be so interested in family history. Yeah, but I have a lot of people I could say, does anybody want this? Is anybody interested in these things? I was very, very fond of my granny's cousin, so because of that, I don't want to just pass these photos on for them to get torn up or thrown away. I kind of feel that they should go somewhere where they're preserved. Yeah, I need help, and I think that Some of the things I've got are quite interesting. I don't really know much about them and I don't really know what to do with them, but maybe if I put it out there, somebody will be able to look at it and go, wow, that I know what that is and I know what you can do with it. Or I don't think there's anything you can do with that. I don't think anybody would be interested in it. You can get rid, it'd be good to have someone else's opinion. And, I live where I've moved. I don't know an awful lot of people and I can't ask people to help me do it. But if there's people willing to help me by giving their opinions on the internet, then I'd be very, very grateful. So that's the plan, really, a very rough plan. I am quite nervous about it. I do feel when I got these tubs out and put them all over the floor and opened the tops, I was getting real jitterbugs in my stomach. It was making me feel a bit ill. And this is why I think I keep putting off doing it. It's because I just feel like I'm letting them down. I'm letting the people down whose memories these are. And I think having a body of other people who are not disagreeing with what I'm doing, or if they are disagreeing, I'm considering their disagreements, or if they've got suggestions about what I can do with these things that's in a respectful way of dealing with them, then, or even if everybody says to me, oh, for God's sake, just rip it up. I mean, even if everybody says that to me, but I think it'll take this feeling, this stressful feeling of angst away from it. So that's what I'm hoping for by talking about these things. If it was just my things, I think getting rid of them, I can do it. It's other people's things. I'm finding it tough. Right, so that explains what I want to do with that. So this is my tubs of stuff in my lounge. You'll see there's only 6. You can see 3 there, 2 lots of 3. And that's because I took all the photos out of one and these random bits out of 2 tubs. And those 2 tubs I'm now using to store my vintage stuff that I'm selling. So yeah, this is what's in my lounge. I'm going to open the tub so you can have a look inside. This could be my stuff. I recognise that little dog belonged to one of my kids, and their scout scarves, handkerchiefs, I can't remember, neckerchiefs, can't remember what they were called, and a medal that I won. And that notebook looks familiar, but I don't know what's in here. Feel a bit nervous looking at it. This box here is a bit overwhelming. I can see photos. I can see books I've inherited. I can see some stuff that I think was mine. I think there might be some family history research in there. But yes, a bit overwhelming. Yeah. Memorabilia, I think. But I don't know. I think those rolled up posters are family history stuff. I don't really know what's under there. I honestly feel really resistant to looking at it. And something needs to be done about that. This is Christmas decorations. So yeah, it doesn't give me any feelings of upset or anything. In fact, I was really surprised to find this because I thought I had got rid of every single Christmas decoration, but I obviously got a few for I knew I'd got a few for when my mum came to lunch a couple of years ago. She came for Christmas lunch, but I hadn't realised I had so much. I do need to look at that and sort it out because, yeah. Well, I suppose this is quite helpful in that this one says photos, but my heart sinks because I've already got tons I've pulled out, and obviously that means there's some more. So yes, another thing to look at. And there's photos on the top of here, but yeah, I don't know what's in there. I can see what I think is the Masonic import apron that belonged to my great uncle, which I just don't know what to do with. I tried to write to the place where he was a mason and see if they wanted it back, but I got no response. Right, so that's all the stuff. Thank you very much for watching and supporting my channel, and I'll see you next time.